Believe me when I say that Sukuna's true curse technique makes him the most powerful entity in the universe of Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have a tier list and Sukuna isn't at the top, just throw it away, just delete it, because this changes everything. Now this reveal came in the form of Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 217 when Yorozu realized that Sukuna isn't using his curse technique and asked if he felt like he could defeat her without using his malevolent shrine. Now I'm sure you guys have heard this somewhere before, but trust me, we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Of course, at face value, this seems like Yorozu was referring to Sukuna's domain because that is the name of his domain expansion. However, the context in which she mentions it wouldn't line up with that conclusion since she asks that question in reference to Sukuna not using his curse technique, not his domain expansion. Not only that, when it comes to the kanji used in the Japanese Ra when referencing Sukuna's malevolent shrine, we can see that it's different from the kanji used by Yorozu in this instance. In fact, we can see that she only used a portion of the kanji, which means a word is missing. And since it's the beginning of the kanji that's missing, we can assume that word is malevolent, leaving the word shrine. This is backed up by the initial leaks for the chapter, which references a shrine, not the malevolent shrine, which is Sukuna's domain. This likely means that Sukuna's curse technique is called shrine, and it makes sense since all domains are but an extension of the cursed user's curse technique. Whether it be Gojo's domain, Jogo's domain, or even Mahito's domain, it all resembles their initial curse technique. So Sukuna's malevolent shrine being an extension of his innate technique makes perfect sense. Now, as pointed out by the fake weeb in his video on the topic, in English, malevolent shrine translates to demonic feretory, and the definition of a feretory is a place or container to hold or store relics of saints. This lends to the idea that Sukuna's true curse technique is indeed a shrine which allows him to store curse techniques. But there's more. As pointed out by the Reddit user Kaito Dairenji over 2 years ago, Sukuna's curse technique not only allows him to store curse techniques, but also curse tools and objects. This theory initially references Sukuna's one-shot called Number 9, where the protagonist had the ability to manipulate boxes and store weapons within them. He also draws similarities to how the protagonist of this manga uses his ability by flicking his fingers, similar to Sukuna when he performs dismantle and cleave. Not only that, his ability is stated to go undetected by common sense, which means that the opponent has no idea what hits them. This again is similar to Sukuna's technique, which is invisible to everyone aside from Mahoraga, the strongest Shikigami within the 10 shadows. However, the most damning part of this theory is where he made reference to Sukuna's tattoos. This part is very important since it brings everything full circle. So when it comes to the tattoos, the user points out that the tattoo on Sukuna's forehead and the one on his nose are very similar to the weapons wielded by Sukuna in a chapter cover. One of these weapons is a trident, which resembles the tattoo on Sukuna's forehead, and the other unidentified weapon resembles the tattoo on Sukuna's nose. Now, the unidentified weapon seems to be in reference to the Vajra, which is a ritual weapon used by the god of thunder known as Indra. This part is very interesting since I made a video a few weeks ago explaining the mythological origins behind Sukuna and Yuji, where I outlined the clear references to Hindu mythology, which heavily references the lore of the Asuras and the Devas, with Indra being the god of the Devas. If you guys want to learn more about that, the video will be linked in the end cards. Now, the user went on to point out something very interesting. We can see that the normal Sukuna has both the tattoo on his forehead and the one on his nose. However, the full body Sukuna with his weapons in hand doesn't have those tattoos. So the theory is that these weapons are stored in Sukuna's body, thus manifesting a tattoo in the form of the tool being stored. So in essence, Sukuna's body is the shrine. That's why when Sukuna unseals those weapons, the tattoos also disappeared from his face. This theory is also supported in Sukuna's fight with Jogo, where we see that Sukuna uses a flame technique after saying open with a box in the next dialogue bubble. And as we can see, Sukuna also has multiple boxes on his body. This means that Sukuna stores his techniques in the form of boxes and his weapons in the form of a tattoo that takes the shape of said weapon, which again ties back into the ability of Gege's protagonist in his one-shot, with him even pulling out a bow and arrow from one of his boxes, similar to what Sukuna did when he used the flame technique. The similarities are undeniable. Now, the fake weeb also mentioned something interesting about this theory, right? He pointed out that Sukuna's tattoos on his arms may represent the other two arms he doesn't have access to right now, since in his true forms, the tattoos are distributed evenly across his 4 arms. So in essence, his theory is that Sukuna Sukuna's other two arms are sealed within these tattoos and Sukuna can access them at any time. Now the reason why I disagree with this theory is because as you can see in the chapter cover, when Sukuna unseals his weapons, the tattoos disappeared from his face. So if it's that the tattoos on his arms represent these sealed arms, he should only have one ring on each arm and the tattoos should dissipate if he unseals them, similar to the weapons when unsealed. But as we can see, the tattoos are still there even when he has 4 arms, so I don't think that's the case. This is also backed up by the fact that it's the same for the tattoo on his stomach. When Sukuna is in his full form with the mouth unsealed, we can see that the tattoos also disappear in that instance. So it's likely that those rings represent something else, not these sealed arms. Now I made a video on this theory over a year ago where I spoke about Sukuna being able to copy curse techniques and likened him to Rika since she also has the ability to copy curse techniques. Also the fact that Rika is known as the queen of curses while Sukuna is the king. Of course this is more so the fact that Yuta and Rika were initially meant to be the protagonists of the manga, but Gege then created Sukuna and Yuji. So it's not a stretch to say that Sukuna's ability is just a different version of Rika's, whereas she has the ability to copy curse techniques outright and also store cursed tools. Sukuna consumes them and stores them within his malevolent shrine. And of course this brings us back to Sukuna's mastery of Jujutsu, because as he stated himself, he doesn't believe that anyone knows the true power of a curse, and he feels like he's the only one who knows what true Jujutsu is. I mean, Sukuna himself confirmed that dismantle and cleave isn't his innate curse technique when he told Jogo that he won't cheat by revealing his curse technique. And this is of course after Jogo was thinking to himself that Sukuna's curse technique is dismantle and cleave, why is Sukuna using a flame based technique? This again brings us back to the mythology video I made over a few weeks ago talking about the ties of Yuji and Sukuna to the Asuras and the Devas in Hindu mythology, and also Abe no Sayumi, who was a very popular sorcerer of that time. So there are many implications in the story that ties into those mythologies that also links back to Sukuna having more abilities than what he's presenting at this point in time. Now of course this is just a theory, but I really do think that it's all but confirmed at this point because again the things I mentioned above. However, these are just my thoughts, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and add the word infinity in your comment to let me know that you guys actually watched until the end of the video. I would really appreciate it. And also drop in the comments, what do you guys think I should cover in the future in relation to Jujutsu Kaisen? Do you guys want to see like debates, versus battles, or do you guys just want to see theories and chapter reviews? Because I did a Maki versus Sakari video the other day, but no one seemed to be interested in that video, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys think I should cover, debates, topics versus battles, or theories, or any other series you'd like to see me cover on the channel itself. But with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.